Welcome back to Learn SKN, and today we're going to continue looking at the May-June 2022 Economics Paper 2 for CSEC. So we completed question 1 already, and so we're going to jump into question 2 now. Before we do so, feel free to browse over to the Learn SKN store, where you can purchase the CSEC Economics Multiple Choice Question and Solution package. Well, it's a nice booklet put together 5 years of questions, multiple choice questions. There's also one for POB, and you can also just download the blank past papers for economics, and for POB the blank past papers, paper 1s, paper 2s, paper 3s. And of course, if you want to donate, feel free to do so. You can either pay $0 or you can donate how much ever you want. All right, so let's just jump back into the question right now. So number 2, define each of the following economic terms. And so we have market as the first term right there, and of course we know that a market is any situation that brings a buyer and seller into contact to conduct business. Any situation. We say situation because we don't have to be there physically for it to be considered a market. If you want a textbook definition, a market is any mechanism that facilitates the interaction of buyers and sellers with a view to purchase and sale of goods or services. So those are definitions you can use for market. You can also use a definition where we're describing the buyers and sellers of a particular good. So a market would be the group of buyers and sellers of a particular good or service. So all those are definitions you can use for a market. Supply schedule. What is a supply schedule? A supply schedule is a table showing the various price and quantity supplied for a particular good. So if you want to get technical about it from the textbook, a supply schedule is a table showing the quantity of goods or services that a firm is willing to supply at various prices. That's the supply schedule in a nutshell. So you have the example right here of the supply schedule. State 2 factors that could cause an increase in the supply of pens. So we have a whole bunch of factors that can cause an increase in the supply of pens. So we have the price of the pen itself. So if the market price for pens goes up, ceteris paribus, then we'd be more than willing to supply more of those pens. So if we supply more of the pens, the price of the pens itself go up. The price of the factors of production, if creating the pen becomes cheaper, if there's a fall in the cost of production of pens, then of course we are able to supply more given the same amount of resources for a cheaper cost. So if the cost of production goes down, we can supply more pens. Technology, if technology improves in a way that makes producing pens easier, cheaper, then supply will go up. The number of sellers, so if there's a reduction in the number of sellers in the market for pens, then if there's a fall, then the amount of the supply of the pen will go down, because if you had 10 sellers and then 5 come out to the market, then those 5 will no longer supply the pens. So now the amount of suppliers have reduced, and so that will reduce the supply of pen. But the opposite is true, because they're asking for increase, right? Factors that would increase supply of pens. So if more sellers come into the market of pen, then there'll be a higher supply of pens available out there. So those are just some of the factors that can cause an increase in the supply of pens. Okay, now C. Study table 1 below, which represents a demand and supply schedule for pens, and answer the questions that follow. So they are saying calculate the price elasticity of supply if the price of pens move from $2 to $4. Show all working. So the price moved from 2 to 4. So at $2, the quantity supplied was 10, and at $4 the quantity supply was 50. So let's look at the price elasticity of the pens. So here we have the equation or formula for price elasticity of supply. So price elasticity of supply equals percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in the price. We need to fill in this equation, percentage change in quantity supplied, and we need to fill in the percentage change in price, and then we divide the percentage change in price by the percentage change in quantity supplied. So we need to fill in that. So how we go about that? Let's find the percentage change in quantity supplied. So we're going to look at just quantity supplied. So we're looking at 10, we're looking at 50. So 10 was the original, 10 was the old, 50 is the new. So let's see how we get that done now. So what we do now, we have to find the difference between the old and the new. So the old quantity supplied equal 10. The new quantity supplied equal 50. What's the difference? So it's the 50 minus the 10, that equals to 40. What do we do with this 40 now? We take this 40 and put it over the old quantity supplied. So it's 40 over 10 times 100 over 1 to give us the percentage, and that equals to 400, right? 400. So we have a percentage change of 400. So that's the percentage change in quantity supplied. So that's 400. Now what we need now is the percentage change in price. So the old price equal, that was $2. The new price, the new price equal, that's $4, right? So now we need a percentage change in that. So it would be the 4 minus the 2 equal 2. And you take that 2, which is the difference between the new and the old, take that 2 and you put that 2 over the original price times 100 over 1, and that equals to a 100% change in price. So far we have what we need to plug into the equation now. So we have the percentage change in quantity, that's 400%. Percentage change in price, that's 100%. So we have the 400 over the 100, and that equal to 4. So the price elasticity of supply equal to 4. And that's how we got the answer for that one. Alright, so next question. Using a label diagram, illustrate the relationship between the price of pens and the quantity supplied of pens. So we know that price and quantity supplied, they have a positive relationship, meaning that when price increase, quantity supplied also increase, because the producers want to maximize their money, their output. And so if you drawing the diagram, if we are drawing the supply curve, we can see the relationship right there. So if the price of ice cream in this case is $1, well, we can have pens, but we can use ice cream, we can substitute anything. So at $1, you're going to supply 1. At $1.50, you supply 2. At $2, you supply 3. At $2.50, we supply 4. And at $3, we supply 5. So we can see that as the price goes up, the amount we supply also increase. So that's a positive relationship right there. Right? So they're simply asking you to draw a supply curve. You're plugging in all of your numbers and figures, so you can see that as price go up, quantity supplied also goes up. So we're showing that positive relationship. Of course, ensure you label your diagram properly. So as you can see, the supply curve is upward sloping, and make sure you put the quantity supplied on the x-axis and the price on the y-axis, so that you can show the pen. So the pen's gonna be to the bottom, and then the price gonna be on the left, so you can draw your diagram properly. Okay, good. So we have that out the way. Next question. Using the information in table 1, discuss each of the following: the price at which the greatest shortage of pen occurs, and the price at which the greatest surplus of pen occurs in the market. Okay, so let's see here, based on the information on the table. So if you're looking at the table, looking at supply and demand, we can very well see that there's no point where we have equilibrium, right? So let's get it up the way. There's no equilibrium price in this one, because there's no point where supply and demand is equal. But the question is asking us to show the point that has the greatest shortage of pens. And so let's look at that. Greatest shortage. A shortage occurs when demand is greater than supply, right? There's a shortage. Demand is greater than supply. And so obviously it would be at $1, where demand is 50 and supply is 0. Demand is 50 and supply is 0. That's where you have the greatest shortage. We're saying that 50 people demanding the pens, but you are supplying 0. And then the reverse is true. The point at which there is the greatest surplus, and a surplus occurs when supply exceeds demand. But at $4, supply is 50 and demand is 0. And so if you're supplying 50 and demand is 0, that's a surplus of 50. So at $4, you have a surplus of 50 because demand is 0, supply is 50, and a surplus occurs where supply is greater than demand. So that's it for question number 2 for the May-June 2022 Econ CSEC past paper. So you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when learn SKN drops question 3 and beyond. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.